Hi folks, I'm here demonstrating an old family recipe, stuffed cabbage, and we called it piggies in the family for many years, and I'd like to share this recipe with everybody out there. So I'm going to turn back the camera and show you exactly the ingredients and how to make this stuff. Okay, so here we are. Here's the ingredients to make stuffed cabbage. Basically, I got a teaspoon of cinnamon, maybe a little less, probably 3/4, maybe a half. Teaspoon of salt, teaspoon of pepper, some lemon juice, of course the cabbage, some let's see, a half cup of white rice, hamburger of course. So in the preparation, of course you're going to need a cabbage, and what you're going to do is you want to core out the center of it. That way when you put it in the pan, you have to steam it, and you just get a pan with some water, and then you put the cabbage in, and then what you do is just put the foil over it so it steams. And then we'll come back and I'll show you all the mixtures and how to mix it. Okay, we're back, and now this is the cabbage. It's on high heat, it's covered with the core end down on the bottom, just covered, and we're going to let that go for about a half hour or so, where the leaves start to peel. And so here we are back at the counter, and we got got a half a cup of white rice, we got lemon juice, we got about a pound of hamburger, we have the ground cinnamon, salt, and pepper, and we got the mixing bowl. I always use, when I mixing bowl, I use these nice handy gloves. I rinse them underneath the sink first, and then I prepare. So now I take about a pound of hamburger, put it in the bowl, and I put cinnamon in, sprinkle that in, some of the salt, some of the pepper, we got about half a cup of rice, and then here we're just gonna, it's gonna give me a hard time now. We're gonna open it up. I didn't realize it was that tight. Some lemon juice, and this is the trick. There's no measurement to this. It's to taste. So I do about 3 good jugs. You hear the noise of juggling. Look, look. You know. Okay, and then I'm just gonna mix it all up by hand. Of course, I'm doing this by holding the cell phone here. So you just mix it up all really good until it's worked in really well. It blends in. Do this for a little bit. All right, and then I'll come back and I'll show you how to stuff your cabbage. Didn't sound too right, but you get the idea. And as you can see, I can't emphasize enough, you really don't want to cook the cabbage, but you just want to steam it enough so the leaves will fall off. And you can see it's pretty hot here. And so you want to shut off the heat, take the foil off. And this is really hot, so you got to be very careful. So you want to grab something like this here, and then take this, put it back, put this right in here into this tray. And I want to emphasize also, you want to get a picture of this inside. You see it's like tea green. You want to keep that, because we're going to put the cabbage and cook it in that later, and that'll keep the flavor. And just take it off the heat for now, and that'll be it. Right now here we're going to roll the stuffed cabbage. As you can see here, I mixed up the hamburger, the rice, all the spices, and the leaf of the cabbage can come off. Take them when they're hot. Take it this way. Have the I call it, this is where the core is developed. So you just take your hand, just take the 4 fingers, go up against the bowl, and you take about that amount, a generous amount, and just place it in your roll. Then you take one side of here and the other side here of the cabbage, and you begin to roll. And you just roll it out. And you want to end up with the bottom part down. Okay, I'll take another one and show you another one. Now sometimes if the cabbage ain't cooked all the way through, you can put it back on there for a few more minutes so the leaf will release. Like I said, you don't want to really cook the whole thing through. You're just doing it to release the cabbage. So you fold in the two sides here, you roll it up. The other key too is when you put this in with that water that's in the pan, you always want to bring them in when it's cool, when the water's cool. Put them down and stack them one on top of the other at the bottoms. If you try to put them in the pan with the water there, they're going to unravel. So you want to be able to, sometimes what I do is I'll take out the water, dump it out, put it aside, maybe like in this tray here, stack them in the pan, and then put the water back on top of it. So I'll show you one more. And then we'll come back and I'll show you actually the placement. And once it's placed in the pan, you can cook them for I cook them for 40 minutes or so. And the uncooked rice, believe it or not, it'll cook right in here. It'll cook up nice. So notice I lay the flat end down. Okay, we're back again. As you can see, the hamburger is gone with all the rice, spice, and everything, and it's all in the stuffed cabbage here. With that head of head of cabbage here, it resulted in 16 stuffed cabbage rolls. The end of the cabbage, I had one leaf left, and here's the center core. Usually when you're working with this, as you get towards the center, it gets a little brittle, so what you can do is just you can throw it back in the steam water for a little bit till it blanches, and then it's workable. And when you roll these, when you're rolling it up to the last roll, you can really give some pressure on the roll so it's tight, and always put it on its flat side down. And now I'll come back and I'll show you how to load them in the pan to cook. And that'll take about 40 minutes. See you in a minute. We have what we steamed the cabbage with, the remaining stuff. We want to save that. Like I said, there's a lot of flavor right there. So what we do is we'll dump it right here in this pan. We'll put the pan back. Now remember, that's hot, so you gotta be very careful. So we'll take each cabbage roll and we'll lay it down inside the pan. I think there's 16 of them. I think I counted 16, so you might want to count along. And that was with that, you know, that cabbage wasn't that real, I thought, very big, but it's amazing. Now the other thing too is what I like to do is I like to put the whiter core parts down on the bottom and the more greener up on the top. Why I do that? I think the green has much more flavor to it, and it will settle in. So you notice I'm crisscrossing them as well and keeping them packed. And I can hear my birds in the other room, well, Carolyn's birds. She's got birds, and they must smell the food cooking. So I put the green ones up on the top here. And gross as it may look here with the hamburger blood and all, that's all flavor. So we're going to cook that all in with it. And you just pour the water. Now see, those won't unravel now because they're all sitting on top of each other. Put the burner on high. And put the cover over it. Cook them for a good 40-45 minutes. Check them for temperature. You know, open one up, see if it's ready. You'll see that the rice is cooked, the meat's cooked, and you can flavor it to anything you like. Put more salt and pepper on it if you like. Some Italian friends like to put them in a tray like this here. Once they're cooked, put them in there, put some mozzarella on top with some tomato sauce, and they stick it in the oven for another 20 minutes, and they serve them. And so that's it. That's my grandmother's recipe. I was very small, maybe 10 years old when she used to make these. And I'm not sure if they are Polish or if they came from Syria. I'm not sure what nationality actually started them first, but one of the two. But that's it. And enjoy.